Welcome to Mortem, Tyrannis. I'm Andrew, and this is Foundations of Power, Episode 2, Origins of Power, the series that asks one dangerous question: how did free human beings surrender their lives to systems that control everything we do? For most of human history, there were no rulers, no kings, no presidents, no bureaucracies deciding how people should live. Yet humans still had power struggles. We understood status long before we built governments. Every primate society runs on hierarchy. In chimpanzee groups or baboon troops, dominance determines everything. Who eats first, who mates, who leads. Order exists, but it comes at a cost: submission, fear, and constant awareness of rank. Our ancestors inherited that instinct, but they also evolved something far rarer: the ability to choose cooperation over coercion. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans lived in small mobile bands. These groups survived without rulers, armies, or bureaucracies. Instead, they relied on trust, reciprocity, and shared accountability. Leaders existed, but they were temporary. A skilled hunter might guide the group on one day's journey. A wise elder might settle a dispute the next. But leadership wasn't permanent, and it wasn't inherited. Someone who led today might follow tomorrow. Power couldn't calcify because life itself was fluid. People moved constantly. Food couldn't be stored. Land couldn't be owned. And if someone grew too arrogant, the group had simple ways of dealing with it. They laughed them down, ignored them, or simply walked away. Freedom came from movement and choice. Anthropologists still see echoes of this system today among groups like the Kalahari. In these societies, equality isn't written in the constitutions or enforced by law. It's practiced every day through open dialogue, mutual dependence, and voluntary cooperation. Hierarchy wasn't destiny. It was simply one possible way to organize a society. And for most of human history, it wasn't the dominant one. Then came the slow revolution that changed everything: agriculture. For the first time, food could be stored. Grain piled into clay jars inside of the first communal storehouses. Fields were planted, marked, and defended. Land stayed in one place, and so did people. Surplus changed everything, because once something could be stored, it could also be stolen. Farming created property. Property created inequity. Inequity created something humanity had rarely seen before: permanent power. Those who controlled land controlled food, and those who controlled food controlled people. From there, a familiar pattern began to emerge. Power justified itself through stories. In ancient Mesopotamia, kings claimed divine authority. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs were not just rulers. They were gods walking the earth. Religion, law, and bureaucracy fused together to make hierarchy appear natural, even sacred. And once power centralized, it rarely gave itself back. Across history, the pattern repeats. Every system that promises equality through centralized control eventually produced the same outcome. Communism promises to eliminate classes, and instead created powerful party elites, vast bureaucracies, and secret police enforcing ideological obedience. Socialism, in many cases, replaced individual choice with collective management, shifting decisions away from citizens and toward administrators. Even modern democracies can drift toward the same pattern. Institutions expand, authority concentrates, and governments increasingly claim the right to manage more areas of your everyday life. Yet beneath all of these systems lies something older than any ideology: the instinct to be free. It runs deeper than political theories or constitutions. It's biological, cultural, historical, because our ancestors lived for hundreds of thousands of years in societies that resisted permanent domination. The first revolution in human history wasn't agricultural. It wasn't industrial, and it certainly wasn't digital. It was something simpler: the refusal to bow. So when you look at any world today, governments, corporations, and bureaucracies claiming the authority to manage your life, remember something important. Power survives only one way. Enough people keep obeying. But our ancestors understood another rule. If someone tried to rule too much, you could always walk away. And that raises the question that drives the rest of this story. If humans lived without rulers for most of our existence, how did rulers take over the world? How did scattered farms and tiny surpluses grow into massive empires, god kings, standing armies, and permanent ruling classes? How did villages become kingdoms, and kingdoms became bureaucratic states? How did temporary leaders turn into bloodlines of kings, emperors, and ruling classes that still shape our world today? That transformation, from cooperation to coercion, built the foundations of power that have dominated the last 12,000 years. And that's exactly where we'll pick up on the next episode. The rise of the first thrones and the age of kings. Thanks for listening. If this sparks something for you, share it. And join me next time as we continue tracing the foundations of power. Stay dangerous.